Then I'll get that out of the way. All right, so tell me a little about yourself and your do you have a company or is it just you that makes the demos?
Perfect. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Thank you for this invitation. So, yes, my name is Alfonso Lugo. I'm a Mexican voiceover actor. I'm a music producer and singer as well, sound engineer.
Hmm.
Audio is my life, and I live in Los Angeles. I moved here 9 years ago, and before Los Angeles, I was living in Mexico City. I had
Okay.
4 recording studios with other 2 business partners, and we were running a lot of campaigns from the music production, mixing, mastering, voiceover recording, sessions, everything. So that gave me the background. That's why I became a music producer. But I was tired of living in Mexico. I was looking for a place with more respect for the profession. And that's why I moved to the US. And when I moved, I was very lucky because I got representation by the best agencies in the country. And yes, I opened my own company here. I have my recording studio, but this recording studio, it's like everything I was doing in Mexico. It's music production, mixing, producing artists, producing jingles, producing all of that. So I don't have a demo production company per se.
Right.
I think everything happened naturally just because, word of mouth situation. And what happened is like I was very lucky because when I moved to the States, to Los Angeles specifically, I rented a studio space and it happened to be next to Chuck Duran's studio. And I already knew Chuck from Voiceover Atlanta, so we became very good friends. And just because I was there, I met a lot of fantastic people, a lot of fantastic talents, and one thing led to another. And Chuck invited me to direct some demos in Spanish. I already had the background to produce stuff. I was producing my own demos. I started with some artists, and then one thing led to another. And suddenly I was just producing demos for everyone and getting some nominations and awards. And I don't know, it was just a natural thing. So I don't have a name for my company, but somehow I am Alfonso Lugo, demo producer.
You are the name. You are the name. That's it. That's all you need.
Correct,
So
correct, correct.
do you only produce demos in Spanish or do you do demos in English as well?
That's a great question. No, I produce demos in English as well. Um, but I'm not recognized in that area. I think the talents that reach out mainly right now are bilingual
Hmm.
and bicultural. So it's one of those things like I'm like the guy that produces demos in Spanish, but I can totally produce in English. But I do actually partner with some other directors and producers in the industry, and somehow I'm not only directing and producing on my own. Sometimes I just mix and master for them.
Hmm.
So I do a lot of things, but definitely the answer is yes, I do produce in English and I do direct in English as well.
Okay, beautiful. So our big first real question is, what do you think is the role of a demo in 2024? And is it like just marketing, securing agents? Like, what's the specific role, do you feel?
That's a very beautiful question. All right. So, since I have a big background in business, because I was running 4 recording studios, my audiovisual production company in Mexico, I always was in contact with clients and agencies and stuff. My mindset is very like marketing driven. It's for
Hmm.
me, it's everything's about marketing. It's about becoming the top of mind in your industry, in your niche, in your realm, pretty much, you
Yeah.
know? So based on that, your demo is probably one of the most important weapons you have to open doors in your industry to create yourself a name, right? So I always do this analogy is the tip of the arrow, like in your
Ooh.
music, in your voiceover career. So that's the tip of your arrow. Actually, in Voiceover Atlanta last year, not this year, but last year, my conference was exactly that and was titled Your Demo. the tip of the arrow of your music product of your voiceover career.
Yeah.
So it's extremely important that your demo represents you, but more than that, that takes you away from everyone else, and makes you unique. That demo
Hmm.
has to be super special, that you need to show the world, your agents, your clients, your colleagues, that you're unique. So that demo has to have something that is just you, is your essence. So at the end of the day, in 2024, a lot of us, probably you experienced this, we booked already because of our demos. It's like, oh, I love that take, I love that style, I love like whatever, this is like what is trending right now. Yeah, just book him.
Hmm.
And that's a great accomplishment. It's something super important that your demo has everything you need to like to be unique. And I'm gonna say this because I always say it when I'm interviewed about my demos. Your demo has to have three important things for me. The first one, it has to have an ooh moment. It's that moment when you hear the demo, it's like, ooh, like
Yeah.
it's that special moment. It's like, oh, I like it. Number one. Oh, no, sorry. No, number one has to be undeniable. Sorry, undeniable. That you press play and it's like, yep, this is established talent. He knows what he's doing. She knows what she's doing, and it's undeniable. It's like, yes, right. Number two has to have the ooh moment, and at the end of the demo, you have to have that feeling of like, oh wow, like, yeah, that's something that is standing out from other demos. So I really like it, even though you're not gonna hear that from agents like directly, because of
Hmm.
course, like they're listening to your demo in their spaces without but that wow situation is extremely important, because then it's like, yes, this talent has everything I'm looking for, or something I don't have in my roster already. So come on, come here, let's talk. Let's sit and talk.
I love that. I love all of that. The analogies are great, and especially that arrow with the tip of the arrow, like it's not going to fly by itself. You got to make sure you've got all the stuff to back it up. I love that. That's great.
100%. Thank you.
So, um, can you tell us how long you've been making demos? It sounds like a couple of years, but
No, it's been more than that.
okay.
So in Mexico, we don't have the culture of like because as a voiceover talent, what we used to do, because I've been a voiceover talent for 28 years now. It's been a long journey for me. And like we used to put like just reels together, like
Yeah,
already
booked
like
work.
work that was already like out there. You just put it together and you showed it. Of course, like when I arrived to the US, I understand that the demos are a very special part of the industry, because you can show who you are and the opportunities that are not in your hands yet, right? Let's say you want to become the voice of like a car brand. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm very lucky because in Mexico, I'm the voice of Mercedes-Benz, for example. And I have a lot of like commercials I recorded for Mercedes, and I have a lot to show for that. But let's say here in the US, I don't know, a talent doesn't have the opportunity to record for Mercedes, and he wants to show, or she wants to show, like how she would perform for Mercedes, right?
Hmm.
So the demo brings that fantastic opportunity. And when I understood that, for me, it was like putting all my skills as a music producer, as a sound engineer, and I said like, okay, that makes sense. And I started producing demos since I moved here, like 9 years ago.
Oh,
You know,
9 years ago.
yes, for myself and from like close people, but I was not selling myself. Even like until today, I don't sell myself. Like I have a voiceover business, right? It is a business. I'm not saying
Yeah.
no, but I consider myself more like a curator, a demo curator, because even though I work with like beginners, I don't like to work with beginners all the time, just because my mindset is more like business driven, and I want them to be hungry for
Yeah.
success, right? And that's the most important part. But sometimes I take them if they're hungry for success and they have all the raw materials. I need to just, bring the best of them in the demos. So it's been 9 years, but lately I've been producing a lot of demos, and I'm super happy.
I
So
love
yes,
it. So the answer is yes.
9 years. Yeah.
At least
Well,
9
yeah,
years. Eh,
nine
but
years.
but you've been in the industry a lot longer than that. When do you think that shift happened to go from reels or booked work to the like the what I can do work? And is it still the same in Mexico, or is it just the US that does that, where we're creating this um potential work versus work we've already done?
Well, yes, pandemic changed the game for everyone, especially Mexico. Like before Mexico, we don't even have a union in Mexico, but we were very close. Like all the voiceover talents, we were very close, and we protected each other's
Mhm.
backs, because rates, especially like I'm not gonna charge less than that, whatever. So it was a union without being official, right?
Right.
Like we were united. But then after the pandemic, all the countries, like Latin American countries, just like fusioned or something like that. And then Colombian talent is recording for Mexico, Mexicans are recording for Colombia. So everything happened like that. And then we, in Latin America, we adopted the US market standard, which is like producing a demo. So now we present both. We present our reels and we
Mhm.
present our demos, because there's a difference between
Interesting.
those.
Yeah.
Like in the UK, they call them demo reels, but I always make the difference. A reel is something you already recorded. It's on the air, what I'm saying?
It's
It's or
real.
it happened. Yeah, exactly. It's real. Exactly. And then a demo is something that you are showing your capabilities, you're showing your talent, you're showing your full potential in an opportunity that is not in your hands yet.
Right.
And that's why it's very, very, very special. So the pandemic changed the game, and even like Latin American talents, sorry, like Hispanic talents in the US, we are united with all in Latin America as well. So
Mhm.
everything is connected now, and that's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
I love that. So, do you have any opinions on whether demo producers should produce just in their niche, or whether they should make sure they can do all kinds of genres? Do you have just one genre you produce, or do you do everything, not just commercial?
Beautiful question. No, I'm not an expert in everything. No, I would say like I'm pretty comfortable mixing and mastering, like a post production for sure. I could produce any kind of genre,
Mhm.
100%. But if let's say directing, my specialty is commercial. I've been a commercial voice actor my entire life, and I've been doing like a lot of explainer videos and like narration as well. I've done promo for sure myself. I'm the voice of some like big projects in promo, being the voice of channels and all that stuff. But it's not my specialty. My
Right.
specialty is commercial. But I never touched myself like as a director, like video games or character animation. Never in my life. And even though I've done characters for like TV
Right.
series on Netflix and stuff, and even though myself I've done video games for sure as an actor, I don't consider myself expert in that. So my advice is just bring the expert, like and be very strategic in your career strategy again. Even it's redundant, but my point is like you need to know exactly where you want to go, create your goals first, and based on that do your research, and based on that find the best demo producers in that genre,
Yeah.
and then just interview all of them to see which one clicks with you, your mentality, your goals, it's a chemistry kind of thing. This relationship is super, super important. So I would say like yeah, with demo producers, we have to understand what's our strengths and our weaknesses, and being honest with our clients as well. And I don't hesitate when someone comes to me and say like, "Hey, I want to produce this," and I say like, "No, if it's character animation, go to this person." You know what I'm saying? I could mix it for sure, just bring the stems and I'll mix it. But no, like for direction, I think that person is way better than me.
That makes perfect sense. So, do you have criteria that a talent needs to have met before you'll agree to produce their demo? Because you mentioned like they need to want it, like they need to be ready to go after it. But what else? What are your criteria?
Well, basically, it's like you have to see talent there, the minimum amount of talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, and see the potential.
Hmm.
Like if you see that that talent can grow fast, for me it's enough to say like yes. But more than that is being hungry for success, because your success is my success, and I take it very seriously. And this could sound romantic, but since I don't do this as like for living, I don't produce demos for a living. For me, I'm very passionate about the results of your demo. So I get excited about your results. And for me, my biggest payment besides the money is like you getting where you want to get as soon as possible. You know, even like getting signed by an agency, getting this amount of clients a month because you have your demo, represent that demo representing yourself and getting an award or something like that. All those goals come together, and for me are enough to say like, yes, I want to work with you. If you
Yeah.
have that hungry hunger for success, if you're hungry for that, then I'll I'll probably say yes. And
So
of
when it,
course, it's both ways.
yeah.
You know, like you need to fall in love with my thinking, my business thinking, my this like energy that I always put in production.
So when you're evaluating a talent, do you evaluate their home studio and make sure that they can reproduce the sound later?
100%. That's actually one of the most important filters. I'm nerd. I'm very specific with tech. It's one of those things like I know a lot because I'm a sound engineer. I studied a lot. I do music production, mixing engineer. Like you know, I'm a like Grammy voting member. So I'm in that depth that sometimes I don't show that to the world. You know, like
Hmm.
yeah, I show it here and there, but I didn't establish myself. I haven't established myself as the geek of that, but I am. You know, like I love analog equipment. If you come to my studio, we can talk about 1176 and 1073s and all that. Like that technical vocabulary that we engineers talking, especially in music in Los Angeles, right? In
Hmm.
sessions, that's super important. What kind of microphone? What kind of texture you're looking for? What kind of voice is that? Okay, what's the chain of production? I love that. So the answer is yes. You have to have a minimum. If you come to me and you have like an USB microphone, most likely I'm gonna say like, let's book time in a studio space and let's save each other's time. You know, I want you to not be worried about the technical stuff when I'm directing you. But if you know what you're doing and you have at least, you know, this minimum microphone that I'm okay with, you know, it's okay. And for example, you know, like in this industry, then Neumann TLM 103 is one of the standards. I don't like that microphone.
Me either.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
It was really
And
sibilant on my voice.
100%. And don't get me wrong, Neumann are the best microphones in the world for me, right? There's other brands as well, you know, but TLM level, you
Hmm.
know, like for me is like the cheap production level that Neumann brought to the market to just reach out like wider audience, right? A wider audience. So for me, you have to start a little bit above that, you know, and go for something with more quality if you want to go in Neumann direction.
Hmm.
I would take it and I would make it work because I know how to work with sibilants and stuff. And I would, you know, I would cross produce your vocals 100% and it would sound amazing. But my preference is just to find the richest and the most suitable microphone for your voice since the very beginning. But voiceover talents, they don't understand. We don't understand sometimes that this is a serious career and we need to invest in something like that.
Yeah.
And and I want them to do a very good research on that, because that doesn't mean that they have to go and run and go and buy run and buy a U87, because the
Right.
U87 is sibilant as well. And even though that's a better microphone that, you know, fits my standards, it has like a frequency response that it has to be, you have to be very careful with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't mean that, okay, it's not a TLM, I go for the U87. Hold your horses, you know, book a room, a studio with that microphone, and record it like through a very clear signal without any coloring or anything, to see how you sound.
Yeah.
And based on that, you can make a decision. There's so many microphones out there, so many in so like different prices and ranges and stuff. And I'm gonna give you an advice, guys. This microphone is not expensive at all, and the frequency response is fantastic for me. It's very neutral. It's called the Steven Slade ML1.
Okay.
Normally it runs for $799, and they have it in discount a lot of times, and you can find it for $500, $499. It depends on, like, you know, like President's Day or whatever, like all those like sales that they have during the year. And that one, I prefer that one over the TLM 103 100%, just
Wow.
because it's more neutral. But the one you have, the 416, I like it just because it helps you with the acoustics in your room. You don't
Yeah.
have to deal with a lot of that, and that for me is very important. Even though that's not the most suitable microphone for your voice all the time,
It's
could
for
be or
sure
couldn't
not.
be, you
Yeah.
know, like. But I like it because it avoids all the reflections and all that stuff that engineers will actually care about. So I that one is it's a one, the one I recommend, especially because you're gonna sound consistent, especially if you're traveling. You can
Yeah.
take it with you, and you're gonna sound the same way that you recorded in your studio somewhere else, even though the acoustics in the space you're recording are not the same. But at the end of the day, you have like a more unidirectional, you know, recording, and that helps with the environment and everything. But yeah, so I'm very. We can talk hours. Like we can talk
I
about,
know.
you
I'm
know,
like, I want to
microphones
keep
and gear
talking.
and.
I could talk mics and I've owned way more microphones than I should have, trying to get one that sounded good on my voice. And I finally just realized that the 416 is at least universally accepted. And so it may not be the perfect mic for my voice, but it's it works and no one ever complains. So um
Exactly. No, and it has everything we engineers need to work with your production,
yeah.
your
Yeah.
vocals.
I got to record in a studio not long ago with a U87 and oh, I loved it. It did sound really good, but it was still sibilant.
Tr- Okay, try, if you are that kind of voice, try the 67 as well.
Mhm.
67 from Neumann. Try the 49 from Neumann as
I had a
well.
TLM 49, which I didn't
Okay.
a lot of people don't even know that that's a mic. It was a used mic that I bought and I loved it. But everyone's like, that's not a voiceover mic. That's not, and I sold it like a dummy and bought a TLM 103 because I wanted to have what everybody else has and it sounded terrible on my voice and I've regretted it ever since.
But again, I'm suggesting not the TLM, the
Right,
actual
the
49.
49. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, the TLM was just, it's just not a clone, but it's just like getting there, but not fully there, you
Yeah.
know? The microphone I use, just for everyone to know, it's called M147, Neumann M147, and it's tube. So it's
Ooh.
warm. Just check it out. It's around $3,000. You can just get it in discount as well. And that's the one I use for singing and my voice, my vocals in voiceover. But I used to have the ML1 from Steven Slade as well.
Mhm.
And I used that one for years, because I like the plain response from that microphone.
Well, now
But
you made
I
me want to
decided
buy a new
to.
mic.
I think I'm okay with this because I do a lot of post production. You know,
Yeah.
I can make my mic sound like closer to an U87 if I want to. So that's yeah, that's a skill you have to develop as well if you want to get there.
Yeah. So we'll come back to demos because this is I could talk mics all day, but Do you also coach, and do you require coaching as part of your process to create a demo, or do you just jump straight to the demo?
No, coaching is extremely important. Pre-production for me is super important. So yes, I do coach, and it's a business coaching session or sessions, depending on everything, previous your demo recording. And actually, I have a business coaching accelerator program as well. So when someone books me for that, I give them a discount if they want to produce the demo with me.
Oh,
Because
nice.
okay, let's say you only produce the demo with me. I only have 1 or 2 sessions coaching, like business coaching sessions with you, pre-production, and we just go straight to the points that I need to know for your demo to be successful and just take your career to the next level. That's important. But if you do the accelerator with me, it's 8 sessions, like 1 month, kind of like twice a week situation, and then we see everything there, and then when you finish, you're totally ready to jump into the demo straight, and then I give you a discount for booking both.
Yeah.
So yes, I do coach, and for me, actually that's the most important part for me. Yeah, like if we know where we're going before jumping into the booth, like that I feel comfortable.
I like that. So there are some people who say like there should be a separation of church and state, so to speak. Like coaches should only coach and demo producers should only produce because can the coach really be unbiased when it's time to make a demo if they're the one profiting off of the demo? But it sounds like for you, it's more about the relationship and knowing the person and their goals. And so then you're the most qualified to make their demo. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, it depends. It depends on the person and the talents. Like, have you seen one of those artists like, okay, she sings amazing, and then she just goes back and bring a violin and she starts playing like, what? She plays the violin. Wow, it's amazing. And then she goes back and brings the piano and she starts playing the piano. It's like, what? She plays the piano as well? Oh my gosh. And then she goes back and brings the guitar and she starts playing the guitar. So it depends on the person, like it depends on your talents. And if you have all those talents, you just show them to the world.
Yeah.
Like there's so many actors that they became directors or producers because of experience, and they had like everything that's needed to just create a beautiful piece of art, a movie, a documentary, or whatever it is, and they crossed over. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it
Yeah.
depends on the person. Like if that person is capable of doing different jobs,
Why
100%.
not?
If not, then it's important for that person to be honest with you. And but second of all, like you noticing what you really want in your career. So you are the driver, like it depends. Like, I don't know. I don't care if you have like a Formula One car or you're just driving a Prius, like it doesn't matter what level you are in your career. Just grab that wheel and know exactly where you want to go and start just doing the gas to just get there, that like it doesn't matter if it's like slow or faster, but you need to know exactly what you want to achieve before anything, before demos, before coaching, before whatever. And I start saying this: how much money do you want to make in the voiceover? I don't know. Okay, that's the first question you have to answer yourself. How much money you want to make? Okay, minimum wage. I said, like, are you that? You know what I'm saying? Like, just reach
Mm-hmm.
out, like, reach a certain level. Like, let's say 65,000 or 100,000. Let's just put a number. But I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, perfect. But if you put a number first, and then you start reverse engineering that number, understanding how much you need to make per month, per week, per day, you see if it's realistic.
Yeah.
You know, so I start with that. Like, I want you to have that clarity in your life, in your business, because all the companies in the world, they have numbers in their quarters or like years budgets. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the year, we need to reach out this amount of sales, and then they start developing everything they need to do to just accomplish that number, and they have to be realistic. And you, my friend, are a company. You're not different
Yep.
than Coca-Cola. Yes, of course, budgets are different. Like, everything is different, but you're a company, and Coca-Cola is a company as well. Treat yourself as a company and just put yourself a good goal, money wise, and then everything else. I don't know. I can talk about this all day long. I'm very passionate.
Well, while we're talking about money, how much do you charge for producing a demo?
Okay, so if it's only the demo, it's 2,500,
Okay.
right? But if you do the coaching, I do $2,000 for the coaching and $2,000 for the demo. Look at the balloons. So I give you a $500 discount on your demo, right? Or if you book 2 demos with me, the first one is 2,500 and the second one is 2,000.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right. So, how open are you to talent collaborating with you? So, let's say a talent came to you and they said, I want to write my own scripts. I want to record my own stuff at home and just send it to you and you produce it. Are you open to that kind of collaboration?
Yes, 100%. Actually, that's a beautiful co-creation. The only thing is like all the answers are gonna come when we do pre-production.
Mhm.
Like with all the templates I have and all the like the experience I have. So when I throw the questions, everything comes in like there. And so the talents, they understand what they need to do, and I totally see when you have a talent that is a producer in a it's a talent with a producer disguise. Sorry, it's a producer with a
With
talent
a talent
disguise.
disguise. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I always get one of those, and then most likely are the most talented ones. They already have like big accounts and they're represented by the best because they know what they're
Mhm.
doing, and I love working with them because then it's like, yes, we have to co-produce this demo. Like it's not like super open saying like, yes, it's co-production, but when they have that power, just like, no, I want this and I want that and I want that. So I start asking the right questions. I make them not doubt, but like if they're right, they're right. But if they are not in a solid ground, I say like, okay, let's question this because of this, of this, of this, because your end goal is this, so it doesn't align with that. Are you sure of that? No, let's change it. Okay, perfect. And then it becomes a co-production. But the answer is yes. But I love it when they're in that level. I really love it
Mhm.
when they're in that level and they come very humble and saying like, but you're the expert. I trust your instincts. And it's like, thank you. I appreciate it. I just need to grab this and this and this and this from you, and then we're gonna put everything together. And I want to see a happy face at the end of the production. So when that happens, it's a more natural
Yeah.
process. We get there faster because they already trust you, and that's why they're booking you because they trust your experience, your coaching, your production, your everything, and that's beautiful.
So, how important are custom scripts to you when recording a demo for a new talent versus using work that's already existing copy?
I'm a passionate about creating like custom copy because for me your demo has to have this uh, like comedy moment, something that is gonna put a smile in your face or maybe a laugh, like something that you're gonna say like, oh, that's funny, and it's hard to find that copy out there, you know. So I write a lot of those. I write like a lot of comedic comedic copy, something funny. So it's a combination of both. I never copy paste. I
Hmm.
inspire sometimes if it's like a very straightforward car commercial. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like it's pretty much there, and you can just watch all the car commercials, and they're amazing. They're fantastic. They know what they're doing. Copy's fun. It's amazing. It's just I adapt that copy to the talent, so I don't have to reinvent the wheel. But let's say half of the demo is it's towards that, but the other half is like, no, let's create something unique. Let's create something that is you. Let's just twist this, or let's just make a twist. Like something very special that is gonna bring that yeah, the uniqueness,
Yeah.
like who you are, and what we want is at the end of the demo, people to just put a smile on their faces, and
Yeah.
and and, and that's important.
I love it. So are you said that you work with other people sometimes. Talk to us about your process. how much of the process is done by you and how much of it do you outsource to other people?
No, I never outsource anything. I
Oh,
do
okay.
everything myself. It's more the talent and myself, and I give them homework. You know, I'm gonna just give you a little example. When they come to me, one of the first questions is like, "Do you know your competition?" What do you mean? Like, do you know who's your direct competition? Like sometimes they mention just like voice actors just because, and I said like, no, that's not your direct competition. That's indirect. That's fine that you have it in mind, but do you understand like your range, your age,
Yeah.
like specs, all that stuff? Like just go outside and find the talents that are in that, like the top 5 talents that are gonna be your biggest competitions because I want you just stand out from that. So that it's something important. But I want them to do it because I already know the talents, you know.
Yeah.
I've been like listening to demos and rosters and agencies, and I've been like I've met a lot of people in the industry, in the English market and the Spanish market. So it's not that I know everyone, but you can totally tell, who are the ones running the industry, right? So I know them already, and I know their demos, and of course I produce a lot of those demos, so I understand like what they have already in their hands. But for me, it's important for them to go and do that because they come to me again way more confident about that. Like, oh, I know exactly I know what I want. I know exactly who I am. I know exactly what like what we need to do to just for example, I'm a music producer, and sometimes I got a talent that is a singer as well, right? Let's produce something like you have to sing a little bit in your demo, show it, even though you need to produce a singing demo,
Yeah.
because you're a total like you're a singer. Like, let's just show it, and then let's produce an original piece that is gonna be unique, and then you're gonna sing on it, and then or rap on it or something, and then we're gonna create something very very unique. So, but it's only myself and that person. But I do have a great sound engineer. Her name is Janet Aye. She lives in Canada. She's Mexican, living in Canada. She's my right hand. She is the head of my audiovisual production company.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and she's a sound engineer. And so sometimes I do use her for certain things. Let's say I'm very honest, like a beginner comes to me, right? And I say like, well, you're not ready for what I'm gonna make you go through, but produce your demo with Janet. Why not? And I'll mix and master it, and then
Mhm.
she comes into the table or something, or she helps me with some sort of part of the process. But for me it's very important to create something unique for you, and Janet knows this. Like I sometimes I just do it myself. It's I just have her, and she's fantastic producing other stuff. Like we have another visual production company, and we do animatics, and we do live action, and we do commercials. So she has a lot on her plate already
Mhm.
producing that, but she's passionate about sound design, so she does that for sure.
That sounds like a great collaboration. And you mentioned that if somebody comes to you like for video games or animation that you might have someone else that you send them to for that. But would you have them just like coach and direct and then you still produce or you just send them off?
No, I send them off. I
Yeah.
send like, yeah, yeah, you have fantastic producers out there. Just do the whole process with them, and I wish you luck. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you to succeed. So no, they're gonna do everything for you.
Great. All right. So we have learned I say we because I'm going to put this out to our whole community, but I have learned so much about you and your demo
Thank you.
production process sounds fabulous. Last big
Thank you.
question is why, give us your elevator pitch, why somebody should choose to work with you specifically.
I love elevator pitches. I love that. Okay, I'm gonna try to put it like the simplest way possible. Your success is my success. I consider your money like my money. So we need to get there as soon as possible, as fast as we can. So your goals are my goals, and I'm gonna put your goals super high. So you better be qualified. to accomplish those goals. That's my elevator pitch. Like,
I
I
love it.
consider your investment very important, and I know you're putting an effort in this. And for me, you need to reach your goals regardless. Period. There's no like, oh, I couldn't. No, you have to.
Awesome. Thank you, Alfonso, so
Oh my
much
gosh.
for your
Thank you.
time
Thank you.
and for introducing yourself to our audience. And hopefully, some people will find that you're a good fit for them. And we are
Thank you.
excited for that.
Especially lately, I've been producing a lot of like bilingual talents, you know, the ones that
Yeah.
are they're comfortable in both languages. And I mean, voiceover is the same in Spanish or English. Yeah, there's differences, you know, like at the end we're marketers and we need to understand the markets, the difference in the markets. But at the end of the day, as a talent, I'm pretty sure like you know what's going on in that industry as well, you know, like in the Hispanic industry, even though you don't speak the language. It's the same. It's the call to action, you know, if the final consumer goes and buy something that you're telling, hey, go buy this or sign for this or just donate or whatever you're doing in that campaign. If they do it, then you're a good actor, right? You
Right.
you know exactly what you're doing. So it translates in every market. So my point is, it doesn't matter the market, but mainly when I have that potential in a talent, I get super excited because then I say like, girl or guy, you have both markets in your hands. Just go
Yes.
and conquer both. You know what I'm saying? Like what are you waiting for? Or three markets if you speak three languages. I don't know. And I apologize for my English sometimes. I get
No,
super
I love it.
excited and my mind goes faster than my tongue. Believe it or not, English is not even my second language. It's my third language.
Do you speak
So
Portuguese?
I speak Brazilian Portuguese because I lived in Brazil, and Brazilian Portuguese is my second language, and I feel
Wow.
very comfortable speaking in Portuguese. So when I learn English, let's say business English, you know,
Yeah.
because like coming to a store and just ordering for like something in the store, like it's easy,
Right.
you know. But like talking about, okay, this is the ROI. It's like, what's that? You know what I'm saying? Like, or
Those
like
are
things
just
things like that.
letters.
It took me a while for me to just be comfortable in the English language, and yeah, English is my third language. So
And
thank you for your
English is
patience, guys,
no, yeah,
and
I'm
you.
sure everyone appreciates the language. Don't worry about it at all.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
so
appreciate it.
much.